Hello and welcome to the Tournament Center. I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian David Marshall. We're at Pro Tour San Diego. We're watching Two-Headed Giant. There are some ridiculous teams here this weekend, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm looking at table 44.
Table 44? Run down the table 44. We'll talk about this guy too.
It's like all Pro Tour winners and Pro Tour runner-ups.
Okay.
Not coincidentally.
This is one table.
One table.
First round. You show up Friday morning. 14 rounds before the finals get determined, and you have to play against...
Not coincidentally, it's all, Japanese. Tomohiro Kaji, Tomohiro Saito, Shu Kimura, Akira Asahara,
Okay.
Ryu Ogura, Takuya Asawa.
Nice.
So I've named 1, 2, 3, 4 Pro Tour winners so far. Unfortunately, I only have runner-ups at the last table. It's Ryuichi Arita and Kazuo Minamura.
The pros have all decided who they're going to play with. They've min-maxed the system. They figured out how many levels it takes to get their buddies in. Some of them chose to play with friends. Some of them chose to form these just all-star combinations. And some of the Hall of Famers came back. John Finkel hasn't played since last year's team tournament, right?
Yep. And Josh Ravitch shotgunned him, much to the dismay of everybody in New York.
Yeah, why is John playing with Josh?
John drafts every day. Like, I don't know if people realize.
It's Finkel draft in New York. It's the center of the New
John
York
plays
universe.
Magic every day. If he's not playing Magic in his apartment, he's playing Magic online.
Okay.
Drafts all the time. Josh Ravitch, retired from Magic, so obviously he plays at John's almost every day.
He retired from the Pro Tour.
He retired from the Pro Tour. He had retired from all Magic. He wasn't going to play.
Yeah,
He was,
nice
he's like,
retirement.
I've been playing since I was a little kid. It's time for me to. Oh my gosh, I need to draft. So he drafts all the time. Josh is an excellent player. He and John have become good friends. Their styles complement one another. And Josh needed someone who had a guaranteed invite to get him here.
Oh, there
so
you go.
it kind of works out
Hall of
perfectly.
Fame benefits kicking in.
Yeah.
So who else is here?
Well, we have a lot of Hall of Famers.
Sure.
Rob Daugherty taking Justin Gary with him. Great team. Rob Daugherty, Hall of Fame this past season.
Yeah, and Justin
5
finished,
Pro
I
Tours.
think, effectively tied for 6th last year on the Hall of Fame ballot. So
yeah.
right on the bubble.
Justin Gary is someone who's not excited about the year 3. Yeah, he's someone
ridiculous class of 7 people coming in.
In any normal year, Justin Gary would look at his results from year 2 and go, I feel really good that I'll get in next year.
Yeah, I thought he should have gotten in last year.
Yeah, other than the 7 guys
Well, he's not gonna be
ahead
in
of
this
me
year.
for 5 spots next year.
Year
So,
4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what year 4 is for.
The Fanatic.
The Fanatic,
Frank Karsten. So who's Frank playing with?
He's playing with Roel van Heeswijk.
Okay.
Really solid Dutch player. Again, it's the same thing. It's someone that he plays with. He plays with regularly. He practices with.
Okay.
They understand each other. I mean, we talked about this in the other bit. Like, it's really important that you play with someone who understands your visual cues, your philosophy about
way
playing.
of thinking about the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You need 2 people to be thinking in lockstep, I think, for this format to be really successful.
Okay. Other great teams.
Well,
Next team we're going to look at is another Hall of Famer. Darwin Castle decided to bring Chad Ellis here.
they decided to bust out the Your Move shirts and
Nice.
and go old school.
So Darwin, Hall of Famer, he can bring anybody he wants, and Chad Ellis wants to come back to the Pro Tour, needed an invite, so I think that's why you see Darwin, he's not playing with Rob, he's not playing with Dave Humphries, he's playing with his buddy Chad in order to get Chad back on the Pro Tour.
Sort of. I mean, they're gamers too, right? Like
They hang out, they play.
They want to max out their. They want to max out their invites.
Yeah, they're min-maxing. They figured out how do we divide up our Hall of Famers and our levels to get the most number of people on the tour.
The funniest thing about the Team Your Move guys in the Hall of Fame, Dave Humphries. It's beautiful girl. It's beautiful girl syndrome. The beautiful girl's like, I never had a date in high school. Everyone was too scared to ask me out.
Right.
No one asked Dave Humphries to play.
By far the most respected player on Team Your Move. Make no mistake, Darwin may have a better resume, Rob may be better as a deck builder, but Humphries is the guy that everyone thinks is the best player. Nobody asked him to play.
Steve Sadin, New Yorker.
A buddy of yours from New
buddy
York.
of mine. He has 8 pro points from Grand Prix Columbus. He'd been away at college. He hadn't been playing much this year. He's like, got the fever.
Got to go to
Burning
nationals.
103. He's like, I want to go to nationals.
10 pro points gets you to nationals.
He makes top 8 of regionals, loses in the elimination round. He's desperately trying to find someone who could take him. He's only got 1 level. He's like, any level 4s are going to take me. He calls everyone in the universe. Finally, he just calls up Dave Humphries. He's like, hey, I'm a New Yorker. I'm pretty good. I just won a Grand Prix. I know these people and these people. I've been practicing at John's.
Yeah.
He practices at the Johnny Drafts.
Yeah.
And Dave's like, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not, I'm not completely up on the cards, but I've seen Stormbind, and they end up.
It's like, I know this card from another color.
Yeah, exactly. So so they're playing together.
Nice. Another good team. Some more
Local
buddies from
team.
Humphreys. Yeah, San Diego team. Antonino DeRosa pulled Ken Ho out of retirement.
Who he calls the least known Pro Tour winner of all time.
It's true. It's probably true.
Fantastic player.
Ken's good. Ken's good. Made some runs at the Masters too. So
He lives in the tarnished Citadel.
So that's a team definitely to keep an eye on, local team. And of course, you've got the Ruels playing together, Olivier and Antoine. They've been teammates at team formats forever. So they'll be playing together.
And guess what? Olivier Ruel is in the middle of a Player of the Year race.
It's true.
Has been getting maximum value out of his Grand Prix. He's been finishing, top 32 in his Pro Tours, and this could be a big event for him. Getting
This
right
event
back up.
is huge in the Player of the Year race, no question about it.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
Saito and at the top, tied with Kenji, 1 point off the top and behind him. Anyway, more awesome teams here.
Now, talking about teams that don't think in lockstep.
Okay.
Gabriel Nassif, one of the 3 or 4 greatest players of all time,
I'll buy that.
playing with Emil Tenenbaum, good friend, mortal enemy of Gabriel Nassif.
Mortal enemy?
I mean, they fight like a married couple.
Okay.
And Emil is sort of a notorious hothead.
That's definitely true.
And it's just.
But I mean, they played together. Gabe's
They've
first
played
top
together
8
forever. They're great
from
friends.
Lipsville Class at a team tournament in New York way back in like 2000,
2001. 2001,
So
yeah.
these guys have played together. They've made a finals as a team before.
But they're definitely to the exception to the rule in terms of they'll just get all hot and talk in French and throw up their hands. They're a lot of fun to watch, and I'm sure there are going to be some great blog entries about this team.
Nice.
Over the course of this weekend.
And the hits don't stop coming. There's Kenji Samura trying to win another Player of the Year race.
Playing with
And
good
who's he
friend.
playing with?
He's playing with Yuta Hirasawa, is
Okay.
a good friend of his. And,
seem to like their phthalate
and their
germinators.
4 phthalate germinators. Phthalates are a great strategy. If you can get the sprout swarms, they're pretty good with this.
Sure. So that's the scene here. The round 1 is being played right now as we speak here at San Diego. These teams have gotten through a draft, they've gotten through a deck build, they've gotten paired, the feature matches are underway, and there's a ton of teams to keep an eye on. So Brian and I will be here. We'll be bringing you the cool stories. Stay tuned to MagicTheGathering.com. We'll have more Tournament Center all weekend long.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Friends and foils meet at FNM. Every Friday, players like you are gathering at their FNMs to lock horns and sling spells. Learn more about FNM's exclusive prize foils at www.wizards.com/FNM.